Welcome everyone and thank you for being here with me today on Rare Coin Legacy, the channel where overlooked change becomes legendary stories and where simple coins can carry unbelievable value, and in this deep discussion we are focusing on one of the most fascinating modern possibilities in the numismatic world, the idea that a 2017 Lincoln 1 cent, a penny so common that millions pass through hands every single day, could under extremely rare and extraordinary conditions be worth as much as $6 million, a number that sounds impossible until you understand how the rare coin market truly works, because value in numismatics is not defined by denomination or metal alone but by rarity, impossibility, discovery circumstances, and the human obsession with things that should not exist. And the year 2017 is especially interesting because it represents a period when the Denver Mint was operating at massive production levels using advanced automated technology designed to reduce errors to almost nothing, yet history proves again and again that when systems aim for perfection, even the smallest failure can produce something extraordinary, and it all begins with how a 2017 cent was meant to be made, officially struck on a zinc core with a thin copper plating, a lightweight composition that replaced solid copper decades earlier. But inside a mint facility many different materials moved through the same environment, including leftover planchets from previous years, foreign coin blanks, test pieces, rejected stock, and experimental materials used for internal research, and if even one wrong blank slips into the striking process, the result is a coin that violates official specifications, and violations are the foundation of high-dollar error coins, because collectors pay immense premiums for objects that contradict the rules, and if a 2017 cent were struck on a solid bronze planchet, an aluminum test blank, or an undocumented experimental alloy, it would immediately become an object of intense scrutiny and desire, but composition alone is only one part of the puzzle, because the value climbs dramatically when multiple errors appear together, not simply adding value but multiplying rarity. For instance, imagine a 2017 cent struck on the wrong metal that also shows a strong off-center strike, where the design is visibly misaligned yet still complete enough to identify the date and mint mark. Such an error already commands serious attention, but now add a double die obverse, a mistake created during the die manufacturing process where design elements are impressed twice in misalignment, producing clear doubling on Lincoln's face, the date, and lettering, and double dies are among the most respected errors in the Lincoln cent series because they represent a flaw embedded into the die itself, not a momentary malfunction. And if a previously unknown double die for 2017 existed and was caught quickly, leaving only one or two examples in circulation, the resulting scarcity would push the coin into a realm where normal price limits no longer apply, because once a coin becomes unique or nearly unique, pricing is driven by competition, prestige, and narrative power rather than guides, and narrative power matters immensely, because collectors are not just buying metal, they are buying stories. And the story of a modern penny defying advanced quality control is incredibly compelling, and then there are even more extreme possibilities, such as mule errors, where two dies from different denominations are accidentally paired together, creating a coin that should be mechanically impossible, and while mule errors are known from earlier periods, a confirmed modern mule from 2017 would represent a catastrophic system failure in an era of automation, making it vastly rarer than classic examples, and if a 2017 cent were authenticated bearing the reverse of another denomination, it would instantly become one of the most important modern U.S. mint errors ever recorded, attracting global attention from collectors, institutions, and investors, and competition at that level drives prices into the multi-million-dollar range, and beyond mules there are brockages, die caps, massive die clashes, cuds, and retained strikes, all of which can dramatically alter a coin's appearance, and while many such errors exist in minor form, an extreme example combined with other anomalies could create a visually stunning and historically significant coin, especially if the coin survived in high mint state condition, because condition plays a critical role at the highest levels of the market, and error coins are often damaged, cleaned, or mishandled before their importance is understood, but a pristine example discovered in an original mint roll or sealed bag, showing full luster, sharp strike, and minimal contact marks, would be extraordinarily rare, and rarity layered upon rarity is exactly how valuations climb into the millions, but no coin reaches $6 million without absolute authentication and proof, because extraordinary value demands extraordinary verification, and a coin of this magnitude would require certification by a top-tier grading service, advanced metallurgical testing to confirm any composition anomalies, detailed die studies to establish die variety status, and ideally supporting documentation linking the coin to a specific minting anomaly, because documentation transforms a coin from a curiosity into a historical artifact, and artifacts attract museums and major private collections, and institutional interest plays a huge role in extreme valuations because institutions compete not just for ownership but for legacy and public impact, and a modern penny worth $6 million would become a centerpiece exhibit, capturing media attention and public fascination, which in turn reinforces its perceived importance and market value, and perceived value is critical. Because markets are driven by belief as much as by facts, and if the belief becomes widespread that a specific 2017 cent represents the ultimate modern error, the price ceiling effectively disappears, especially when reinforced by expert consensus and high-profile auction exposure. And auctions themselves amplify value because competitive bidding among wealthy buyers often pushes final prices far beyond estimates, driven by prestige and the desire to own something no one else can, and those buyers are not thinking in cents, they are thinking in legacy. But there is another layer to this story that makes 2017 particularly intriguing, the possibility of experimental or transitional strikes, because even in years without official changes, the mint constantly tests new materials, coatings, and production methods behind the scenes, and while test pieces are supposed to be destroyed, history shows that some inevitably escape, and when they do they become forbidden objects. Coins never intended for public release, and forbidden coins carry immense allure because they reveal hidden processes and secret decisions, and collectors are deeply drawn to that exclusivity, and if a 2017 cent were proven to be struck on an undocumented experimental planchet, it would become a numismatic mystery discussed and debated for decades, and debate fuels fame, and fame fuels demand, and demand with virtually no supply leads to extraordinary prices, and there is also the controversial category of unauthorized or rogue strikes, where official equipment or materials are misused either accidentally or intentionally, producing coins that challenge definitions of legitimacy, and such gray area pieces have historically become some of the most valuable and talked about coins ever sold because controversy keeps them in the spotlight, and spotlight increases desire, and desire creates bidding wars. And beyond traditional collectors there is a growing wave of investors entering the rare coin market, particularly individuals seeking tangible assets that combine scarcity, history, and cultural relevance, and a legendary modern error like a $6 million 2017 cent would sit at the very top of that market, appealing to both seasoned numismatists and newer investors who may not connect with ancient coins but are fascinated by modern anomalies. And this crossover appeal matters because it expands the buyer pool, and expanded demand increases value, and the Lincoln Cent series itself plays a powerful role because it is deeply embedded in American culture, making it instantly relatable, and the idea that a penny could be worth millions resonates far beyond collectors, reinforcing the emotional and narrative power of such a coin, and narrative power is what ultimately ties all these elements together.